I'm John Arking. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota. Here to wow you. Is there any possibility the Flagler County Sheriff's Office will ever return to its now abandoned operations center in Bunnell? The issue has taken on added importance recently after inspections determined it might be possible to reuse the facility, which was evacuated in June of 2018 over health concerns by employees alleging a variety of respiratory problems. But that doesn't mean it's likely to return to use for the Sheriff's Office. Flagler County Commissioner Dave Sullivan.
We decided to split the sheriff's buildings up. We'll build a large district office in Palm Coast near the library. I think hopefully at some point in the future we'll be able to use the land where the old Sheriff's Operations Center is on. But based on everything I've heard at this point in time, I think of any future use of the actual building is about a 100-to-1 shot at this point. I'll leave that tiny glimmer there, but it will never be the Sheriff's Operations Center.
Sheriff Rick Staley, however, says there really is only one circumstance he would even consider returning to that building.
Unless the county can provide me a letter certifying that that is a safe building for my employees, that they will hold harmless and indemnify me for litigation from the employees, I don't see us ever going back in there, which is a shame. I'm a taxpayer here too. And this has just been a colossal mess and a lot of wasted tax money by commissioners that are no longer on the commission and the former county administrator.
Flagler County Administrator Jerry Cameron says while there is a chance the building can be repurposed, he agrees it probably won't be as a sheriff's facility.
There's been another round of testing in order to determine exactly what needs to be done. Once that needs to be is given to us as to what needs to be done, we would have to do it, and then we would have to have the building tested again after it was done to make sure that it had been resolved. That's a kind of an open-ended situation as to both if and when the building could be available. So it's probably not a great alternative for the sheriff.
One option that Cameron's been looking into is retrofitting the building on US 1 that was privately built but with $90,000 in county subsidies. With no private tenant in sight, it could possibly be expanded to suit the sheriff's needs.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
A juvenile's been arrested for possession of firearms and narcotics. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
A 15-year-old young man is in trouble with the law after Flagler County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call placed by the boy's grandfather. Deputies responded to 48-7 Wonders Trails in Palm Coast Wednesday night, and after a search of the boy's bedroom, found a pistol, a rifle, drugs, and drug paraphernalia. The problem area crime enforcement team of the sheriff's office located the juvenile's vehicle on Underwood Trail and made a traffic stop. A search of the vehicle turned up a 9mm pistol that was confirmed stolen from Volusia County, more drugs and drug paraphernalia, and a female passenger was turned over to her guardian. This young man is on a fast track to serious trouble, Sheriff Rick Staley said. It makes you wonder what he was planning. The 15-year-old was taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a delinquent, grand theft of a firearm, and other charges. He was processed at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility and turned over to the Department of Juvenile Justice in Daytona Beach, Florida. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And Flagler County Attorney Al Hadid was appointed to 2 state committees during the annual meeting of the Florida Association of County Attorneys held in Orlando earlier this month. Hadid will serve as vice chair of the Finance and Tax Committee, a committee he previously chaired for 5 years, and a committee which oversees the Friend of the Court. Hadid said he was asked by the association to once again chair the Finance and Tax Committee, but declined in light of his present workload for Flagler County, and instead agreed to be vice chair for the coming year. As part of the Friend of the Court Committee, Hadid will evaluate pending court cases for legal precedent affecting either county governments or their officials. He says the committee recommends to the Florida Association of Counties about which cases they should intervene on, and then finds lawyers and reviews briefs for such cases to assure the views of counties are fully and effectively presented to the courts.
This is what parents want to hear.
Gretchen Smith has two 18-year-olds and said that her kids' friends have asked for the HPV vaccine.
And their friends are like, can I come to the health department and can I get an HPV shot? And I was like, this is great.
She said that she thought that some of the 18-year-olds had already had sex, but she was grateful that they thought enough of their health to get the vaccine to prevent several cancers and keep from spreading the human papillomavirus. You can hear the full interview on the Free for All Friday podcast, available on the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler Radio app today. You can also hear Flagler Health Matters with Gretchen Smith on Saturday mornings at 11:30. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm John Arking.